Up today is the TuffWriter Precision Press Pen. TuffWriter designs and manufactures pens here in the United States. They make some of the toughest tactical pens in the world, and one of their mottos is that if they can't hammer it through a 2x4 without deformation of the pen, they won't make it. One of the things they set out to do with this pen was make the ultimate clicky pen. In the tactical pen market, one of my complaints has always been that 95-98% of the pens have caps on them. And this is a personal thing, but I can't stand pens with caps. Call me lazy, call me don't want to lose the cap, call me whatever. But you get a pen and you have to twist the cap off, and then the cap's off, and where do I put it? Okay, I put it here. Okay, I'm going to write with the pen. Now I'm done writing with it. I put the cap back on, twist it, or maybe just the cap pulls off. Have to put it on the back. For me, it's just too much effort. I don't like dealing with that, and therefore I will not buy a tactical pen with a cap because I just don't like dealing with the hassle. So one of the things that TuffWriter set out to do in this case was create the ultimate clicky pen, and they have overall done a fantastic job with that. General Manager Jack Roman, I believe did most of the design work with this and consulted with people like Michael Yanich, well known in the defensive tactics, hand-to-hand, martial arts, blade community, and they made a pen that can be used for super tough, hard, everyday use, from super cold to super hot weather, everything in between, and also if need to be forced into a striking, defensive, directional type role, could do that as well. Let me get just some of the basics of this pen out of the way. It is made here in the United States. It is it's not a short pen, it's 6 inches. It is a long pen, for what that's worth. It has a nice heft to it, 1.9 ounces. It's not too heavy, I'm not saying that. It's got a nice heft for what this pen is designed for what this pen costs, for what you're going to use it for. It is a nice weight to it. It comes in a veritable cornucopia of colors. I'm seeing more and more colors every day. The colors I've seen thus far: black, blue, red, silver, green, and a dark gray. The colors have an anodized finish. On the TuffWriter website, the red here, which I have, looks like it's a little bit brighter. In person, it's a bit more of a dark anodized finish. For what that's worth, hopefully it shows up the correct color here in the video. So let's go over the specifics of this pen. As usual in my reviews, I'll go back to front and talk about each of the components of the pen. So the big feature of this pen is that it is a clicky type pen, and the clicking mechanism is in the back, and this is the clicky pen without the click. So most clicky pens like this one, right, there's a click. And you can go as gently as you want, and there's a click no matter what you do. This pen, it's a German design cam-driven mechanism, press advancing mechanism as they call it. It has some ball bearings that roll along some grooves on the inside. There's a C-clip that kind of holds it all together, and it is silent. The only noise that you occasionally hear is the metal, not really rubbing, but just the metal contacting with the metal, right? I mean, you can do it completely silent. So the clicking mechanism is absolutely wonderful. It's as good of a clicking mechanism as I've seen in any pen. Great job, great choice there. Moving down to the body. The body is an all-metal body machined out of 6061 T6 aluminum. That's a tempered aluminum, actually originally designed in 1935. Common in things like bike frames, fly fishing reels, gun suppressors. It's non-reflective, it's non-marking, so it's not going to show any fingerprints, and it's not going to reflect a bunch of bright light or anything back. Also, this pen doesn't have any markings on it. Some people complain about some of these tactical pens because they say things like Uzi or whatever else that involves suggesting that it's something more of a weapon than just a pen. This pen has completely no marks on it, which is very nice. In the body here, there are Duron rubber O-rings. Duron originally patented by Firestone Tire and Rubber Company back in the day. And there's some O-rings back here in the body and up here in the tip, which I'll get to. And those O-rings are supposed to help with gripping when you're writing, and also for other things, if need to be pushed into that. So the body is nice. It's very smooth. It's very comfortable to hold. Nice design there. The pocket clip. Pocket clip is cold pressed out of spring steel and then powder coated for durability and corrosion resistance. So the pocket clip, made out of, like I said, spring steel, it has a bit of a spring to it. It's not made just out of steel or aluminum. That's going to be more likely to snap off. When you put this in your pocket, it has just the right amount of give to it and then snaps back into place. So nice tension on the pocket clip, very well designed. It's a long pocket clip, as you can see, and it is going to make the pen high riding because of where it's placed, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Moving down onto the tip. Tip is machined out of 303 stainless steel. Without getting into all the details of 303 steel, it's a very machinable steel, one of the more of the austenitic steels, just a well-designed steel, pretty corrosive resistance, and also because when you're writing with it, because it's kind of a long pen, it's a hefty pen, to make it well balanced, the steel adds a little bit of weight up to the tip of the pen to make it feel comfortable in your hand when you're writing with it. Also, because the front of the pen is going to take the most abuse, either from writing or striking or dropping or whatever, that steel is going to help the tip of the pen hold up a little bit better. Up in the tip here, there are also 3 more O-rings. That way, when you're holding it, it's less likely to, it gives you a little bit better grip on it, less likely to slip out of your hand or feel like it's slipping out of your hand. On the inside, this comes with a Fisher Space Pen refill. Black ink. Also has a spacer, that way if you want to use Parker or Foray cartridges, you can also use that. All right, so there's the pen overall. Like I said, it is a very well made pen, very well designed, well machined. Nice weight to it. It's very comfortable in the hand. Of course, that Fisher Space Pen writes great, and one of the reasons they used that was because they wanted this pen to be able to use in cold, hot, rainy weather, in space for that matter, if you take this up there. Let's talk now about some, I wouldn't even call these critiques of the pen, just some things that I've noticed in carrying this pen for over a month. I work in the ER, carry it every day, and it's been a fantastic pen to use at all. But there are just a few things that I've noticed over the month carrying it and just wanted to point them out to you. The pen here, like I said, the color, I believe it's anodized on. And right here, let me see if I can zoom in here to show you. Here around these O-rings, there is a little bit of wearing of the color. Because these O-rings, they sit on a sharp edge right here. And let me show you what that's from. The way I carry this pen is I carry it in the front pocket of my pants. 511, Vertex, whatever kind of pants I have. I always have a knife in the pocket like this, and the pen goes in front of them like so. So what's happening is the pen is rubbing on the edge of the knife here where it comes out, and it is wearing the finish a little bit right there. Otherwise, the pen's holding up fine, but that finish will rub off. I don't think it's a big deal. If nothing else, eventually, if some of the finish wears off, it's one of those things that I think maybe gives the pen a little bit of character, but it will scratch off with repeated hard use there. When you carry this pen also, like I mentioned, it's very high riding because of the pocket clip, and that's good and bad. One of the complaints I had about my Surefire pen that I've carried for a long time also is that it sits very deep in the pocket. If I can get it in there. It sits very deep in the pocket. Get this knife out of the way. And so when I would go to get it out of the pocket, I really had to reach into the pocket, and sometimes I would have trouble getting it out, but it was a little bit harder to get out. The TuffWriter pen, because it sticks out of the pocket 1.5 inches, it's very easy to get out of the pocket. You get good purchase on it, pull it right out, very easy in and out of the pocket like that. However, because it sticks, depending on how you're carrying the pen, because it sticks out a little bit, it may have a little bit more chance or tendency to get caught on something. I've not really had that problem with it, but just something to note. Some pants have these pen pockets in them, and it will fit just fine in there as well. It is a little bit heavy to carry in something like a dress shirt. It'll fit just fine, but because the dress shirt is going to be kind of light, this pen with all of its heft, it's going to be a little bit heavy to put in something like that. Most people that are carrying this pen are probably not going to be doing so with a dress shirt. If you have a uniform pocket to put in, or the front pocket of your pants, something a little bit thicker, it's going to do just fine. But just because of the heft, you don't want to put it in something that's too light. The last thing to note on this pen is the price. So this pen is a $95 pen, probably going to be a little bit over $100 with shipping. Is it worth it? I mean, it is a super nice pen. I mean, I thought it was worth it. I guess I bought it, and I've really enjoyed using it for the past month. It is geared somewhat towards law enforcement though, and I would be concerned that most law enforcement, probably being underpaid for what they have to put up with every day, may not want to spend $100 on a pen that they carry. But, you know, if they do, again, it's going to hold up great for tough use, for whatever they want to do, probably for years of use. But just something to note. Overall, you know, if you're going to carry this around every day, the actual cost per use is actually pretty low. You know, I'm not going to buy a $200 melon baller that I'm going to use once every 5 years, but $100 on a pen that I'm going to use every day and is going to last for years, you know, it's a little bit more justifiable, at least for me anyway. Other options in this realm: Surefire pen. One of the things that I like better about this TuffWriter pen is that the Surefire pen down here on the tip, I occasionally feel like it's kind of sliding out of my hand a little bit. I've never had it come out of my hand, but the rubber O-rings down here give you a nice grip on this pen when you're writing with it, and it's not going anywhere. Also, this pen compared to the Surefire, you know, they have the exact same clicking mechanism, which is nice. The Surefire, as I mentioned, sits down deeper in your pocket, can be a little bit harder to get out. This pen, you get much more purchase with it sticking out of your pocket. You know, if you want something super lightweight, just get the basic Fisher Space pen. It's not going to be nearly as cool, not going to be nearly as tactical, but another option. Or if you want to go with the 10 pens for 15 cents, you know, just get one of these cheap little plastic pens that you can throw out after you use it. Otherwise, there you have it, the TuffWriter Precision Press Pen. It is a fantastic pen from TuffWriter. Comes in all the fashion colors for whatever your needs may be. Going to last for years. Take whatever beating you want to throw at it, so check it out. It's a fantastic pen.